Howdy everyone, welcome to D16 tonight. We have 3 of your candidates running for senator live in studio to take your questions. All you have to do is go to our Facebook page and interact with us on our live stream. For those of you who are already online, fire away and we'll get to your questions in just a bit. With us this week are senatorial candidates Republican Amanda Blas and Democrats Jermaine Alerta and Therese Terlaje. So congratulations for making it past the primary and thanks so much for joining us. Before we begin, I'll give you each about 30 seconds for some introductory comments, and once we get into the question and answer portion, we'll give you about a minute each to respond. So we'll just start with Amanda.
Sure. Howdy everyone. Thank you for turning in to Decision 2016. As Isa mentioned, my name is Amanda Blas, and I am your youngest candidate this year. A little bit background about me. I graduated from the University of Portland, go Pilots, and hopefully, God willing, in a couple of months, I'll be receiving my master's degree from the University of Guam. I can tell you my platform in a simple sentence or two. Right now, Guam relies on 2 sources for the economy, and that's military spending and tourism. And I definitely like to expand the opportunities for our island to include agriculture and aquaculture. Now, I'm sure you'll hear a lot about my platform throughout the rest of the broadcast, so I wanted to share a little bit more of the personal side for me, but maybe that will happen later.
Okay, thanks, Amanda. Therese?
Half a day. I'm Therese Terlaje. I'm one of 11 children of Ed and Shirley Terlaje in Jonia. I'm the mother of 3 girls. I'm a lawyer. I'm a small business owner. I've been a professor at the University of Guam in the public admin and criminal justice programs, and I've worked with many families, many small businesses, nonprofits, and government agencies. And I'm running for senator because I believe that the legislature plays a very crucial role in the checks and balances of the government of Guam. And I believe that with my skills and my experience, I can very effectively serve the people of Guam in this capacity. I also believe that in the policy making that we can do better for Guam, and that we must do better for our future generations. And thank you.
Thank you, Therese. And Jermaine?
Thank you, Isa. Good evening, Guam. My name is Jermaine Alerta. I'm from Agate. I'm the proud grandson of 2 full Filipino grandfathers, 2 full Chamorro grandmothers. My parents are Jesse Alerta and Esther Cruz. I think our government needs to do much better for our people, and that's what really got me into this race. I just think that we need to start spending money in the proper areas in our government, and I want to be a part of helping make those decisions. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you all again. So we'll just jump straight into our questions from our Facebook viewers, since our Facebook is already going off. So one of the first questions that popped up here was from one of our viewers are asking, would you support the repeal of pay raises for senators and government officials? So we'll start with Jermaine.
Oh, sure. I support a full repeal. Public Law 32208 should be repealed. One of my first things I would do if I'm fortunate to get into the legislature is to introduce a bill to repeal it. If it hasn't already been repealed, I'm hopeful that in the 33rd legislature, in the months left in this current term, that the senators will come around. We need one more vote to override the governor's veto of repealing all those, but I think we need to do a repeal for the senatorial and the governor, lieutenant governor, and all appointed officials.
Therese?
I too am hoping that that issue is something that is going to be taken care of before we get into office. I think if not by the senators themselves, that there is a citizens movement, and I support their efforts to put that on the ballot too. And in whatever way possible to take care of it, so that when in the new legislature we can move on with more important issues. I mean, we have when it comes to spending many bigger items that are also on the plate of the government of Guam. We have to take care of the pay raises that were given illegally. I mean, we have to take care of many other expenditures.
Amanda?
Sure. So since 2013, we've been looking at repealing the senatorial raises. Like I said, first in 2013. And at that time, there was a comment made that if we do decrease the pay raises, if we do decrease senator pay, does that mean that there will be less likely to have good quality people who are willing to step up and become senators or to serve our island? And I think that bothers me because I believe that as a senator or as any public official, you step up with the intention of serving your island. It's all about public service, and that's something that definitely I I think is important is that we look at that we look at that a pay increment shouldn't be an issue about whether you're willing to step up and serve your island. And that's what my thoughts are on that.
All right, thank you. Well, we have another question from one of our viewers. Kevin Manabusan is asking, what makes you qualified to be a senator? So, well, I'll start with Jermaine again.
Oh, well, I have over 13 years of experience in both the legislative and executive branches. I've served for 5 terms under 4 different senators, and I also served as a member of the staff for the Guam State Clearinghouse under Lieutenant Governor Mike Cruz, and also as a communications staffer under Governor Felix Camacho. So I've seen policy making, I've seen the legislative process, I've learned it, I've been fortunate enough to learn it, and those are some of the things that those experiences I want to help guide me if I'm fortunate enough to be elected senator.
Okay, Amanda?
Sure. So as the youngest senatorial candidate, it's obvious I won't have as much experience as some of the other candidates. Right now, I currently am the Deputy Press Secretary at the Governor's Office, but I know, like I said, that I don't have as much experience as other candidates. So why am I qualified? Why do I think I have what it takes to become a senator? I think I have what it takes because I have the passion for our people. I really believe in the opportunities for our island, and I'm really going to push towards that. I think it's time that we bring new ideas and a new generation of thought, and that's not to ignore our older generations who I was raised by my amazing grandparents, Francisco and Cecilia Blas, and they were amazing people who really taught me the traditions of our culture. And I think it's just time that we work together with the new generation and the older generations to really make our island a better place for everyone. So if you're asking what my experience is, I may not have been in the legislature yet, I may not have been in public service for long, but I do have a love for my people, and I do have great ideas to extend opportunities for everyone. And that's why I think I'm qualified.
Okay, thanks, Amanda. And Therese?
I have a resume of experience, but I think what really makes me qualified to serve the legislature is that I take very seriously what the people tell me, and I really welcome this role. It's a different role and one that I actually very much appreciate. I think people on Guam, they want to be heard. They want leaders that will hear them, understand what they actually are going through, and I think I also bring that. I have enough real life experience that I can understand almost all of their experiences, and I think that I've been around long enough, and I've watched politics, and I've watched policy, studied it, worked with it. I've done enough that I know also not just to bring in fresh ideas, but to bring in those years of knowing what the government has done, what worked, what did not work, and why it did not work, so we don't just reinvent the wheel, and we can really move forward as opposed to just spinning our wheels. That's what I'm really hoping.
All right, thank you. Well, we have a lot more questions here on our live stream. Don't forget, you can send all your questions to our live stream. Also, you can share your sentiments by either liking, sending a thumbs up, or smiley faces and things such as that. So another one of our questions is regarding homelessness. So one of our viewers is asking, what is your view on homelessness in Guam, and what would you do to address that issue? So we'll start with Therese this time.
I'm the lucky one. Okay, homelessness is absolutely, I think everyone on Guam, we can't avoid seeing this nowadays. It's not like before, and so we have to do it. I think it all goes together with, the issues of poverty, work, working wages, what makes it effective for them to work versus going on welfare. All the programs that the government of Guam has actually, we have in place. We just have to get these services to the people more effectively. And homelessness it's very important because we have children that are homeless, and I think that just makes it almost no excuses. We can't wait anymore. We can't talk about it. We've really got to act. And I think we've got some programs in place, and it's a matter of getting the agencies to get these programs to the people as fast as possible.
Thanks, Jermaine.
I think it's going to take a community effort. Like Therese said, there are government programs that are available right now, and we need to strengthen and improve those programs. Like she said, try to reach out and get them out to where they need to be, to get it to the people that need it the most. But we also need to work, the government I'm speaking about, needs to work with the private sector also, because, just working in Agana, we see the effect of homelessness. We see many people who walk the streets. And I think as a community, we need to get together and help these people get better training, get ready for more work programs, get them more education, so that they can help themselves. We need the government and the community at large to help them help themselves.
Okay, Amanda?
Sure. So for the last couple of years, I did have the opportunity to be a part of the homeless count on our island, and it really was an eye-opener for me. But one of the things that I do like about the homeless count is they do ask questions and their concerns, and you kind of get an idea of where they're coming from. And the constant thing that I heard when they interviewed the population who wasn't fortunate enough to have a home was that the issue was being able to find a job, and the job opportunities weren't always there. And I think that's the main reason why I'm looking at expanding industries on Guam. We have amazing farmers out there, and I think it's time that we do make a thriving agriculture industry. Can you imagine the many jobs that will be open from that? And I just think that's what it'll take. It'll take really improving our economy and looking at more than just military spending and tourism. I mean, we can embrace those definitely, but I think it's time to definitely look at other opportunities such as agriculture and aquaculture.
Okay, thank you. Well, stemming from that topic, one of our viewers again is asking all of you, his name is Alan St. Nicholas. He's asking, what are they going to do about paratransit systems for handicapped people, and also just going along with that question, busing in Guam in general? So I guess we'll start with Jermaine.
Well, you know, our paratransit system right now, the biggest problem I believe with the system as it is we don't own our own resources. The government does not own its buses. We contract these services out. So the government needs to get more serious on putting the proper resources, the proper funding to getting our buses on. I took a trip a few years back in Australia, and the public transportation system there runs like clockwork. It's 15 minutes on the dot. If you're not there, all you have to wait is 15 more minutes for another bus to come around. Now, a lot of people here on Guam rely on transportation to get to their jobs, and some of them don't own their own personal transportation. So if we fully fund or fully invest in improving it, then I don't see why we can't help people get to the jobs that they need to be at, and that'll help in turn help our community get better. You know, get a little bit more better little by little.
Okay, thank you, Therese.
Yes, I know I had a brother that was on the transportation board for many years, and it was very frustrating for him because they work very hard trying to find policy, and he hasn't been on it for years, but I followed this issue, and yes, part of it is the procurement of how we get these services, and I know that there have been, different maybe jumpstart efforts, and I just think it just has to become priority, absolute priority, because it is related to getting them to jobs, getting all of us to jobs. And I have a brother who's also, who needs to use special vehicle to get around because of a disability, and yeah, same issues. I mean, but yeah, in order to have a reliable work, they're going to have reliable transportation. So absolutely, we just need to prioritize it, and they've been working on it, but I think absolutely prioritize it.
Okay, thanks, Therese. And Amanda?
So when I was going to school in Portland, Portland has one of the model bus systems in the nation. And obviously going from Portland to Guam, you really see the issues that Guam has. I mean, we do have buses, but sometimes the buses come late or don't come at all, which is a constant complaint. And if we do have buses, they're not always suitable for our disabled brothers and sisters on island, and that makes it an issue. And I think it is an issue of procurement and investment into the bus system as well. I think we do need to invest in it, and that's to help ensure that everybody has the opportunity. You can't get to a job if you don't have transportation. Not everybody's fortunate enough to have a car, and I think that's an issue, is just making sure that there is an investment into the bus system. And I also think it means actually looking at what works for Guam. Obviously, Guam's system would be different from Portland's, although it was a model. We can't just take a model from a different state and bring it to Guam, because Guam has a very unique culture and road system. And so I think it's definitely something we need to look at, what will work best for our people and for our island.
Okay, well, thank you so much. We have to take a quick break, but stay tuned. We'll have more questions from the candidates, or for the candidates, after the break.